Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome, everyone. Episode 25.
There we are. The quarter century. Way to
That's
go,
true.
Andrew and Dave. What a ride it has been so far. The time, blood, sweat, and tears, and stress have all amounted to this moment right here. Episode 25. 25
Well,
in French.
yes, for any of you non-French speaking people.
Yes.
We got a little bit of stuff going on today. Um, Nothing too crazy. We're just going to discuss some
Or
of
is
the
it?
award leaders or who we think
Okay.
are going to win the awards. But following last episode, we have a little bit more Tortorella drama between him and Cam York. Apparently, there was a very heated discussion and it just got out of hand. Nothing physical happened, according to reports. But I can tell you that Torts was quoted telling him, "If you resign here, I will bury you." And that's part of what led to his firing.
Yeah, that's a pretty toxic. That's a pretty toxic culture that you want to definitely get away from. I mean, I had not saying my situation is similar because I was paying to play, but when I was a lacrosse goalie, I had a lacrosse coach who blamed me on a 1-0 loss, and he blamed me as the goalie because I didn't make the third rebound save, and I basically walked off the team and refused to play the following year if he was coaching. And these guys are getting paid to do this, so hockey is a huge culture sport. Like if you don't have the culture as a team, you're not playing as a team. You're gonna fail, even if you have Wayne Gretzky, Lemieux, and McDavid on your first line. If you don't have a culture, you're going to fail. And I mean, look at the New York Rangers this year. They basically shipped out
Yeah.
some of their best players. So it's if you're not
I wouldn't say some of their best, but they definitely shook things up.
well, their best players have not been their best players, and they they shipped out a lot, and when guys will quit on the team and they're just going through the motions on the ice, similar to Patrick Laine. No, not was it Laine? Who was it that had that effortless shift? It was Laine, wasn't it?
For
When he was
what
playing
team?
for Columbus, when he had that real effortless shift, when he was just skating around, just loafing around, and even the commentators were calling him out for it. And it's because he was just PO'd.
Are you
That
talking last season?
No, it was a few years ago, but
I honestly, I don't remember. I don't know.
but if you don't, but my point is, if you don't have the culture, and you like, if the culture is negative, it's gonna affect your team in the worst way possible.
Well, I can
So
tell you that after Torts was fired, a few of the vets went to the general manager's office, basically in tears, apologizing that they didn't do enough
for York or for the
to
team in
keep
general,
to keep it calm and collected and to keep everything fair, that it just got too toxic and went too far, and that they should have stepped in when it was getting heated between York and Torts. But we'll see
that's
if Torts
fair.
gets another job. I don't know. I'm really torn. Like, he knows the game, but his tactics
Yeah,
aren't always great. The Flyers have actually gone on a heater since he was fired.
and I take that with a grain of salt because a lot of teams do that when like look when
They
Babcock
do.
got fired from the Leafs, they went not was it like 9-1 in their next 10 games. So it's like a lot of times guys like teams will go on a heater just because their coach is gone. So I take
Mitchkov
that
has
a little
seven
bit.
points in 3 games since Torts was fired.
Yeah, but again, he's gone on a heater. He's a young kid, and
And he's not getting yelled at
with
anymore.
yeah, in a language that he doesn't speak.
Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say on Torts. We'll
Yeah, it's
bounce to Obi quick here.
well. I was just gonna say with Torts, he's not a Babcock. I don't believe he's a Babcock.
No.
He's a firehead for sure, but I don't.
Yes.
He's not. He's not. He's gonna say it as it is. And he's gonna call it as it is, and he's not gonna play mind games like Babcock did. Because like where Babcock went to school for psychology and learned how to get in their minds and just basically completely f with a man's head. That's Babcock. I don't think Tortorella does that. I think Tortorella just he
Yeah.
gets he has a temper
Torts just
and
gets pissed. Very, very
yeah,
pissed. But
he just
simple as
gets
that.
torched.
I mean, it's led to some great moments during interviews, so
Yeah,
we'll take it.
that's what I'm
Um,
saying, Brooksy. That interview from when he was in Tampa. That's what I'm saying.
yes.
Well, I'm just gonna leave. Okay, then get the f out of here.
Yeah. Why don't you get the fuck out?
Yeah, that was a classic one. But yeah, I don't think he'll be out of the league too long. Maybe he just focuses on himself a little bit. But I
We'll
think there's
see.
gonna be a good team with lots of talent, and they're right there. They just need that little boost from a coaching perspective. I think that kind of team is what he's going to be looking at, like say for example Dallas just started like
Dallas has a really
failing.
good coach.
I know. I'm just saying, like
We
coaches don't
also
last
went over
forever.
this last episode a little bit, Dave. We don't want to be too repetitive.
No, but I'm just saying it's that's. I think that's what's going to take for Tortorella to get his next job, and I don't think it'll take too long. I'm not saying Dallas specifically. I'm just saying a team like them that's right there, but they're like the coach. The coach has just run his course. In that sense, is what I'm saying. So
Okay.
I don't think Torts will be out of the league long, and if he was, I think he would have been out of it a few years ago anyway. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not saying Torts is right or wrong. I'm just saying I don't think he'll be out long. It's just yeah, you got he's got to focus on himself to kind of adapt to the new breed of players coming up.
So Ovi is 3 goals away from breaking Gretzky's record. If he gets 2 goals next game, he actually has the same amount of goals as Gretzky and one less game. So there's potential for that. That'd be cool. He also has potential to tie him, of course, but wait and see.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
this is
look,
basically just an Ovi shout out. This is really damn cool. It's so impressive.
history in the making.
Someone just stopped watching because of that.
I can feel it already. But
Um,
one thing that I don't think a lot of people have focused on, yes, Ovi's 2 goals behind tying Gretzky. Gretzky did it with through 4 different teams. Ovi has done it with only Washington. That to me makes it that much more special because he hasn't bounced around the league. He's been here from day one
yeah,
to more than like most likely his last day. Like I'm sure even if he didn't have an NTC, he'd just be like, "No, I'm not reporting," and they'd be like, "Okay." It like they don't even bother asking him to trade because they have too much respect for him for what he's done for the
yeah, yeah.
like.
For the
So it's
franchise.
yeah, he's gonna score every single one of his goals as a Washington Capital, which is like insane that he scored that many for one club.
Do you remember when he was almost traded straight up for Patrick Laine, 1-for-1 or something
I
like that?
I don't remember that.
Because he had struggled a little bit, and Laine was supposed to be really good. Basically, he was going to be traded for the second overall pick and a little bit more, but he would have gone to Winnipeg
Hmm.
because they hadn't won a cup yet in Washington, and they're ready to really shake things up. Thankfully, it never came to, but
Yeah. I mean, I do remember, and this is when I was back in high school, so I don't remember the Line A one specifically, But I do remember back in high school, there was all kinds of stupid rumors. Right when Ov was signing his first like it was right like 2 or 3 days before he signed that 12-year contract, that massive
Okay.
12-year contract. I was seeing rumors from like these no-name reporters saying, "Oh, he's coming to Toronto." Like his top two teams are Toronto and Montreal. It's
Sure.
like, and then like quite literally like hours later, he signs it. Ovi signed a 12-year contract with the Washington Capitals. It's like, oh yeah, that lasted pretty long. Good one, buddy.
Yeah, there's always going to
Yeah,
be those reporters out there.
it's
Um,
it's hilarious to see that happen. But I mean, as a younger dumb kid, you, I mean, I had obviously hope that it would happen to see him in the Leafs jersey. Never thought it would happen. But I just remember my buddy back then was like, "Oh, he might become the Leafs. He might come to the Leafs." I remember saying, "I hope, but it's not happening. It's not happening." So
okay.
it would have been exciting to see it, but yeah,
But yeah, we'll see what happens. See when he breaks the record. One other
game
thing too,
72 in the second period.
he plays one more year after this under contract.
Yes,
If he keeps up his current hits per game, he'll be the all-time NHL hit leader since the stat was tracked. Now it only started being tracked, I believe, in 2005, but still,
fair.
that'd be an impressive stat. All-time
Yeah,
goal leader, all-time hit leader. You look at everyone else on that list, like Foligno's on there, and he was an okay player in his day, but he was nothing close to Ovi.
no,
And
Foligno on a great team as in his prime was like borderline first line player, but he was a second line in his prime.
yeah,
Obi is a top line player on any team ever in history.
yeah.
Like there's no comparison, but except for
So
Kane's point.
anyway, it'll be interesting to see that. But keeping in line with the Capitals, there was a fight between Chatfield and McMichael, and it's caused a little bit of controversy in the league. I'm sure a few of you guys have seen this by now, but basically, um, Chatfield did some judo on McMichael and slew-footed him in a way,
Yeah.
but this is just kind of the frame by frame.
So
Now, it's official. McMichael wasn't hurt. Chatfield has not been disciplined.
I I don't think you should be disciplined in the sense of a suspension. Maybe a fine, just like as a deterrent for later. And then if something like this happens again, because I mean, how many times has this happened in history that we've talked about like this?
I
Not
don't
often.
remember seeing this before. People throwing each other down to the ice, but that's more wrestling and kind of, like this.
Yeah.
You don't take the guy and put your leg behind his and throw him down like that.
No. It
I believe there hasn't been discipline because there's no rule that he actually broke.
no. I'm sure
But
there might be going forward, but maybe just like a 2K fine or something like that. Like nothing major, just kind of like a hey, don't do it again, buddy. Like just a warning for
there's
the
nothing
future.
that's just a fine, though. Like a fine's just the beginning, so you can do it once and get fined, but if you do it again, you can get suspended for the same crap.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be a rule adjustment saying no slew footing during fights. But now
Yeah.
it's definitely nothing like this old clip that I'm about to share here. This is a classic.
As McCabe and Chara fits, and the gloves come off. You can see the size advantages, the wrestling, trading in the
Chara on the Sens.
Like this is grabbing and throwing.
You can see the size advantages.
just like a wet blanket, just as you're laying down a picnic blanket, just there you go and laying back down. Yeah, that that is like wrestling. That's rough wrestling. The Slewfoot doesn't have any part in the fight, and yeah, that's where I would say maybe a 2,000 fine, just like as a warning, and a light precedence going forward.
Yeah, because it is dangerous, you know, especially because he had no helmet on. His head hits ice there and concussion potential. You know, it's caused a lot of controversy. But we'll see what happens. They play each other Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, and you know Chatfield's going to be a target. No question about it.
Oh, someone's gonna have a nice chat with him on that field of ice.
Oh, and there's our pun for the episode, boys.
The pun for the episode? Come on now.
Yeah, maybe a couple more.
Oh, there's gonna be a couple more.
But I just wonder if Chatfield's going to, let's face it, it's going to be Wilson. Chatfield's going to face Wilson, or if he's going to be a little bitch.
I mean, I wouldn't want to fight Tom Wilson. I'm right now, like since you like just bring that piece up, it brings me back to that. Was it Ryan Strome when the Capitals were facing off against the Anaheim Ducks, and Ryan Strome was like, "Hey, if you want to fight me, you got to have a hand tied behind your back." And then like they're lined up for the face off, and Wilson's like, "Let's go." He goes, "I'm not that stupid," and skates away.
Well, I mean, the Caps do have a few big boys. Like Dubois is kind of sneaky big. You know, he's 6'4", he's 220.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think he was that big either, but he's 6'4", 220. He could do some damage.
Jeez almighty.
You look at Alexei Protis. He's 6'6", 247.
Yeah. He's got the last name of someone you would expect to be that size. Protas.
Yeah. Honestly, I might take Wilson over Protis. Wilson, I'm lanky. I could hold back, hopefully. Protis, I'd have no chance. He has the reach.
But Tom Wilson's got that reputation as being clinically psychotic. And that's why I wouldn't want to go up against like Protis. You haven't seen that as much from him. Like,
yeah, he's a tough customer.
I'm not saying he's not tough, but I'm just saying you're also talking about Tom Wilson. Like Tom Wilson's gonna kill you.
Well, Dylan McGrath, 6'5", 240.
Yeah, the Capitals they're built for playoff hockey right now. That's exactly what they're built for. Big, tough, hard nosed, led by one of the greatest goal scorer of all time, soon to be, who still has the mentality, even at 38 years old, of, oh yeah, you want to defend me? Yeah, what
I'm just gonna stand in this one spot.
Well, or that, but like when he's on the rush, like he's gonna look at you and you're gonna step up on him, and that's likely gonna be one of the last things you do on the NHL ice if you try and go up against Ovi, because he'd rather go through you than around you.
Yeah.
So I mean, he doesn't have his flashy moves like he used to as a young kid, but like that, for example, that one on the back sweep goal that he did.
Yeah.
Like that famous one. Like he doesn't have those kinds of moves anymore. Now he's just, okay, I'm gonna stand here. Okay, okay, give me the puck and it's in your net.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't think they could have done anything with Chatfield.
No.
They could have come up with some bullshit thing if McMichael had been injured, but I think they're going to look into the rules and maybe change them for next season. That could be a possibility.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the fun section of this episode.
Let's get a couple more topics.
Let's talk about our potential award winners or leaders as of right now, who we think is going to win. Some of them are easy, but
like which ones?
Well, let's avoid the Rocket Richard, the Art Ross, stuff like that.
What?
Let's talk about the Hart.
Gotta have
Who do you think deserves the Hart?
Now,
You have
for our
Draisaitl.
listeners that don't know what the Hart Trophy is, which one is that?
If someone's gotten through this much of the episode and they don't know what the Hart Trophy is, there might be an issue. But just
I'm
in
definitely not searching it
case,
up right now. I'm definitely not searching it up right now.
the Hart Trophy is the most valuable player, so the
The
MVP of
most
the league.
valuable player.
Player judged to be most valuable to their team during the regular season. I believe that's the definition. Maybe not word for word, but
Yeah.
that is a paraphrase definition.
All right.
So
There you have it. The not so definition.
you have Draisaitl up there, Hellebuck, McKinnon, Kucherov, and even Quinn Hughes debatably. I think those would be kind of your top guys as of right now.
You can make a case for each one of them, for sure. And I want, my heart is what my heart. That was not an unintended pun. My heart is with wanting to see a goaltender MVP. When it comes to Hellebuck making his case, I think it's going to come down to what he does in the playoffs.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't, but there's still some guys being like, okay, well, he had a great season. Okay.
Voters, they don't
But-
count it. It's a regular season award. It will never be a playoff consideration.
I know, but
Don't discredit our show by saying shit like that.
I'm not saying that I believe that because it is a regular season award, but that's where Hellebuck has had his main struggles is in the playoffs. Not that it's a factor, like you said. So, from a pure regular season point of view, which is what this award is, I would love to see Hellebuck do it and win it. I mean, for the longest time, you had Kirill Kaprizov, who was right in the top there, but obviously,
if he wasn't injured, I think
Yeah.
he'd still be up there. I'm with you though. Hellebuck would be my pick, number one.
Yeah.
I'd probably cast Draisaitl as my number two, but Hellebuck, he's just done so well and done so much for that team. You can look at players that are doing good, but his goaltending has been better than anyone else in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, and he signed to one hell of a buck.
Yes.
So.
Can't reuse the same pun.
Sure can. We probably have a different viewer this episode than the last one I made.
That's possible.
So it's not like until you pointed out they wouldn't have noticed.
Going back to Draisaitl, it's kind of hard with Draisaitl and McKinnon, honestly, because if you look at McKinnon, his team was destroyed in the first bit of the season. Everyone was injured, and he's carried along with Makar, but he's carried. Mm-hmm. And Draisaitl's done so well, and he's carried along with McDavid, but he's carried. So those two are pretty damn close in my eyes.
For Draisaitl, I mean, the entire Edmonton Oilers has been absolute doggy-doo since the Four Nations Cup, and he's still putting up those goals.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, you can kind of put him a little bit aside from that McDavid piece because of how bad the Oilers have been since. So, from that point of view, that's why I would still say Draisaitl's up there because, I mean, he's just looking like Prime Ovi right now.
Okay.
In a different way. But, yeah, I want to see Hellebuck win it because I have a soft spot for goalies because it's the most thankless job on the team. Because a defender misses his check, you still have the goalie back there. A forward misses his check, you still have the defense and the goalie. The goalie misses his assignment. Oh, look at the red horn going off.
Yeah.
And it damned if you do, damned if you don't as a goaltender. So that's why I really want to see the goaltender win it because he has been that good. But
I was
my
waiting for that.
heart is with McKinnon because he's Nathan McKinnon. He's Nathan McKinnon. Yes, he has, like you said, Cale Makar. But the guy he decides when he's going to put up points. When he decides when he wants to put up those points, there's nothing a defender can do because you want to step up on him, he's going to lay you on your butt. You want to try and skate with him, he's going to blow right by you. You want to try and stick check him, he's going to either knock your stick out of your hands while you're loosey-goosey poking at it, or he's going to pull off some sort of pretty move and just like he'll beat you in every way imaginable, and then again in a way that you didn't see coming. And then he's going to put the puck in your net. So with McKinnon in that sense, he is truly, in my opinion, the McDavid side for the argument, different style of player, but that's why I truly believe that McKinnon is going to win it because he's that special player. Obviously, McDavid is a lot flashier and puts up more points, but McKinnon doesn't.
Yes.
McKinnon's just mean. He's got that mean streak, and like he truly carries his team on his back, whether he has talent or not. Well,
speaking of carrying, Makar's the first defenseman since Mike Green in 2008, 2009 to score 30 goals as of like half an hour ago. Just popped up for me.
That's an insane stat.
That is an insane stat. That's the only reason that, it's tough to just narrow down McKinnon and be like, it's him because he has a Makar. So it takes away, but it doesn't take away. It's debatable.
But McKinnon also had a Rantanen half the season, and then he didn't. Then he had a Nietzsche's. Draisaitl has had McDavid for years. He's had Hyman for a couple years. Like he's had
Hyman's not comparable. Like
no, but
Hyman's another top 6 guy. He has McDavid, but McDavid's been out a couple times this season.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like McKinnon has had to perform with different supporting casts, unlike McDavid in that sense, because McDavid still has the same teammates year after year, the same core that he plays with. McKinnon had Rantanen for years.
Dave, you're getting off track here. This is this season award.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, McKinnon's had to do that with different players, whereas McDavid or Draisaitl haven't.
They've just missed. McDavid's not in the conversation this year. Draisaitl definitely is, and Draisaitl's missed McDavid sometimes this year.
Yeah, but I'm saying
he's still done well without him.
He's had to do it where he had Rantanen all season, and then he didn't. Early in the season, they were basically missing, what was it, like 8 of their top 12 players out.
Not that many, but a lot.
You know what I'm saying. But like they were missing that many, and he was still doing it. He's had, in my opinion, more adversity than Draisaitl has in that sense. That's why I think McKinnon's not quite the surefire award winner, but he'd be my pick to win it. But my heart's with Hellbuck, but like because I wanted to win it as a goalie, but McKinnon's my top pick.
Well, moving on to the goalie award, the Vezina, best goalie.
Okay, now in that sense, do we really need to talk about the Vezina? Isn't that just like talking about the Rocket Richard?
Yeah, I guess in this case, I guess it kind of is. It's kind of hard to compete with Hellbuck here.
Yes, well, Thatcher was making a great case for it, sarcastically.
He has the best goals against. He has the best save percentage. He has the most wins by far. He has more wins as a goalie than some teams have wins.
Yep. I mean, he's the first, wasn't he the fastest American-born goalie to reach 300 again this season? award, but still, that just speaks
Yes.
to how good he's been for how long. But he's definitely been the best goalie this year.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I guess we don't need to talk too much about that. It's just he's a very, very good goalie. Um,
yep,
Vasilevsky might get some votes. He has a 9.22. He has 36 wins to Hellbuck's 43, but I still don't see anyone but Hellbuck taking it.
yeah. No, it's
But you're right.
hell.
We don't need to talk too much about that. This is a really, really tough one. The Calder.
The which one? Sorry,
The Calder. Calder
Calder.
Memorial.
Sorry, you said Calder. I was like, oh, I've never heard that. It sounded like that's what you said anyway. The pronunciation caught me off guard. Is all I'm saying. But
Top rookie.
Yeah.
So we have 4 clear-cut ones and no one else. But it's close. Lane Hudson, Celebrini, Mitch Call, and Wolf.
Oh, that's a real see this in my opinion is much tougher than the Hart because Lane Hudson is doing things as a defenseman and putting up these points. So that speaks volumes. Obviously,
Yes,
it's
he already
hard.
has 59 career points, not including tonight.
Yeah. And it's in that sense it's hard to really like not make that case for Lane Hudson. But like Celebrini is right there as well. He's doing it with the San Jose Sharks. And I mean they're all on bad teams, but like
Mitchkov
Dustin
kind of
Wolf,
fell off of the running, but since Torres has been gone, he's right back in it. He could make a late season push if he keeps this up.
yeah, I see what you're saying, but you really got to look at the whole season as a picture. It's not like the most improved award; it's the best rookie.
Well, the best overall. If you look at the stats and he has a good rest of the season, you can make the argument for it. It's not like he fell off completely either. Now, Dustin Wolf has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just so tough for a goalie to win the Calder.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a team that he was going to do it with, it would be like the Calgary Flames because they're not quite there, but because of him, they are in that picture.
Exactly. They're in the mix. He has a 909 this year.
Yeah. So
it's good. It's not crazy good, but it's good. As a rookie goalie.
Yeah, it's like he's as a rookie goalie. Like most goalies don't really make that jump from backup or the AHL until they're 28, 29. So it's like most goalies, like a lot of rookie goalies have those rookie seasons.
Jay, back up there. Most goalies don't make the jump until they're 28 or 29.
Into that starter position. Like you don't see a lot of young 22, 23 year old goalies.
Most goalies make the jump a bit earlier than 28 or 29, but we're going to move past that.
I'm saying to like a true starter position. Like goalies take the longest to develop is what I'm saying.
You're not wrong. Goalies do take the longest to develop, but it doesn't take that long.
Yeah. Sorry, keep talking.
But he's been very good. Lane Hudson has been incredible as a defenseman. He has, like I said, 59 points. There's been some comparisons to Brian Leach. He is undersized, but he's clearly been excellent for the Canadians.
So
it's tough.
For Dustin Wolf, this just shows you how tough it is. Steve Mason is the last goaltender to win the Calder Trophy in 2009.
Yeah.
And before that is probably, like I haven't looked that far, but it's probably Andrew Raycroft with the Boston Bruins before he got traded to the Leafs in that phenomenal trade that definitely helped the Leafs. But yeah, that just shows you how often this doesn't happen. Now, Nedeljkovic was was named a finalist but didn't win.
Yeah,
So
I remember that season. That
So,
dude
like-
fell off.
yeah, he had a great
Um,
season, and that was it. But
It's so hard. You can make a case for any of them.
yeah,
That's the thing here. Like, you can't just look at one player and be like, okay, the rest aren't good. You can make a case for any one of them. Like, Hudson does lead all rookies in points with 62 as a D man. Michkov's close behind at 58, and then Celebrini's at 53 with less games played.
yeah, I
I feel like it's going to be Hudson, and it pains me to say it because he's a Montreal Canadian and I'm a Sens fan, but I think my vote would be Hudson.
my vote would probably be for Hudson as well, and yeah, same reason, because that's one thing we have in mutual. That's mutual interest is we hate the Habs, les habitants. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's I think not shoo-in, but I think it's going to be Lane Hudson.
Yeah, it's going to be
But
close, but
Celebrini's right there with it.
the 2022 draft was pretty good for the Canadians. They got Slavkovsky over first overall, and they got Lane Hudson in the second round with the 62nd pick, so late second round.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
it's not bad.
Well,
Not bad.
depending how this plays out, he could be the top player of the draft. Like, if he can keep up this sort of pace next year and not have a sophomore slump, if he is a true superstar, I don't see anyone in this draft that jumps out and makes me think, oh, they're better. Like, Slavkovsky, probably not going to be better. He's good, but
He's good. I mean, his contract was obviously like a high risk, high reward contract when they signed it from a Habs point of view.
yeah,
But I
this
mean,
year it's not
he's
looking
been
good, but he could bounce back.
yeah. From as a defenseman, that's where you're most likely to have those. Oh, he could have been the first overall pick, because like defensemen behind goaltenders, defensemen are the next hardest position to draft for.
Yeah,
Like forwards, it's not too crazy where you pick. I mean, forwards are just known to go in the first round. You don't see a lot of defensemen being drafted in the first round compared to forwards, and especially you never see goalies like, or very seldomly you see goalies drafted in the first round because again, the highest risk.
yeah.
You
Anyway.
might draft Marc-Andre Fleury, but you might draft an Andrew Raycroft.
We are a bit off
But-
topic again, so
Well,
let's move on.
Talk about rookies and drafts.
So
but
Lane Hudson, I think we're in agreement there.
I think Lane Hudson is going to take it, but Celebrini would be a close second, very close.
Yes,
because he's doing what he's doing without anybody, as like no support except for Will Smith.
and Toffoli.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
he's not Gold Caulfield or Suzuki or
no. He's not that
or
good.
Slavkovsky
Slavkovsky's not that good.
this year.
Suzuki and Caulfield are way ahead of him at the moment.
Oh yeah,
But let's move on to the Norris. So best defenseman in the league, and it's really between three: Makar, Werenski, Hughes. If Hughes hadn't been injured, I'd have him pretty high up there if he kept up the play, but unfortunately he was out for all that time. And with Makar scoring his 30th goal of the season, it's just pretty easy to pick Makar, the way he controls the game, the way he carries that team along McKinnon. Werenski's done so well, not to discredit Werenski's season. He has 74 points, and he's really carried the Columbus Blue Jackets, so there is definitely an argument for him. And I mean, Quinn Hughes has 70 and he missed time.
Yeah.
It's close, but I think I still have to take Makar.
I agree with that. I agree with Makar because he is a step ahead of Quinn Hughes and Werenski. Again, like you said, not discrediting Werenski. He's doing what he's doing on a not quite a like he's the biggest reason why the Columbus Blue Jackets are still somewhat in the running for a playoff spot. Like they've dropped off a little bit, but like you know what I mean? Like without
Yeah.
Werenski, they're fighting the Bruins for the bottom feeders, in my opinion. And in that sense,
He has carried.
Werenski's also got the weight of the Johnny Gaudreau on his shoulders. Maybe that's that's more likely a driving factor for him than anything. But
It has been for the whole team for sure.
yeah, yeah. The Columbus Blue Jackets in general, for what their roster is, they're playing above their roster, and Werenski's a huge part of that. But Makar's just Makar. When he wants to go, he just hops in Makar and goes.
Okay, second pun. There we go.
Yeah, so
That's pretty easy. Moving on to our last award, we're going to talk about the Selke. So the best defensive
Selke.
forward.
The best defensive forward.
Yeah, so a forward who best excels in the defensive aspects of the game.
So
Florida
I know
has two of the top guys, in my opinion, Barkov and Reinhart.
Yeah, I know Matthews has been in the conversation previously. He's been very good defensively for the Leafs, but he's not at that same level as these other guys.
No.
Like
I actually have the odds up here. Marner is in with plus 4,000, the same odds as Draisaitl. He's in the top, tied for the top 4 spot.
Marner is having a career year, and like he's been unbelievable for Leafs this year. So it's hard not, but to put him at the same level as a Barkov, that's pretty.
That's not
good.
No.
No,
The
like in
odds
the
aren't
same
same
conversation
level.
is what I mean. In the
He'd be like
conversation
a
of like
4th or 5th vote. I think.
that's what I mean.
Honestly, I think Reinhart deserves it. His defense has been superb. I watched a few Panthers games, and Barkov's there too. I could go either way, but I would honestly just want to see a winger win it because it hasn't been won by a winger in a while.
Yeah, that's why the center position is the center position, because the centers are usually the guys that can do two things: win faceoffs and play defense or back check. That's usually what the center does. Not all, but you see that a lot more from a center than a winger. If Marner were to have won it, he'd be in the same position where he's winning it as a winger. But it's gonna be either Reinhart or Barkov, in my personal opinion. It's hard to really put anybody else in that conversation. It's
Nico Heischer's a good one too. Nico's so elite defensively. And just fun fact, the last winger to win the Selke was Jerry Lettinen in the 2002-2003 season.
Jerry Lettinen. Or Yuri Lettinen?
Yuri Lettinen?
Jiri? Yuri?
No, Jere.
Yuri Lettinen?
Yuri Lettinen?
I mean,
anyway.
The Canadian pronunciation would be Jerry, but the Finnish is Yeri. Or something like that.
So it's been a while. He's won a few. He won it in 98, 99, and 2003.
Oh. Good for him. No, that's not exactly a shoot. That's not exactly what's it called? Unimpressive.
Yeah, not quite Patrice Bergeron level, but
no.
Still pretty damn good.
Nobody is Patrice Bergeron level.
Yeah, Bergie, I'm just looking at all the wins he had with it here. Started in 2012. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's. I'm actually curious because I haven't looked it up. Do you know who has the most Selkies?
Patrice
NHL history?
Bergeron.
Fair. I was just wondering if there's like one of those like I don't know 1940s forwards that was just stupid. Like stupid.
The Selke was handed out in 1978. That was the first time.
Fair. So yeah, Bergeron's won that many times, which is it's just a credit to who he is as a
Exactly.
It's gonna eventually it's gonna be renamed the Bergeron Award, but yeah, for who's gonna win it, the 2025 winner, it's gonna be Barkov or Reinhardt, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Barkov.
Yeah, that's fair. That pretty much sums up our player awards. So we are good to go here. Any last thing you like to talk about, Dave?
Guy just messaged saying
yes, Guy was supposed to join us tonight.
Yeah, that's okay.
But that's okay. Yeah, he'll join next episode.
Maybe next week we'll try and double up with Guy and Daniel.
Look at that. You'll have Daniel back. That'd be fun. Let's see if we get Danny Boy in here.
We'll see if he wants to. I know just with the storm that's happened around our area in Peterborough, it's been a war zone to say the least. Power outages everywhere, trees breaking in half. On my street, there was a light post that broke in half from the ice storm. So I got away a lot luckier than most. Like most of the branches that broke off were branches I want to take down anyway. I just didn't want to pay for a permit to get rid of them. So it's not that I'm committing fraud or anything like that. Or anything illegal. It's just these are branches that are in the way, but I know my brother's been just dealing with a lot worse of a situation than I have.
I'm just gonna say not one person watching this thought, oh, Dave's illegally getting rid of branches.
No, I'm just saying right now there is a permit ban. Like it's been redacted a bit right now until April 16th, I think it was, or something like that. Just because of the storm, there's just so much damage.
Yeah.
Like where I work, I've been working from home just because I have internet connection. Because internet's been down. The area where I work is like there's been no power since this is Thursday night, Thursday, April 4th. There has been no power, or very few people have had power, and it's mostly been generators since Saturday, March 29th.
Yep. No ice cream making for Dave.
It's been bad. It's been really bad. And yeah. So
I just remembered what Guy said.
Okay,
we need to paint a picture for people.
Okay.
So we were playing Xbox with the boys last weekend, everyone, and we were winning a game, and Dave decided to chase someone down the ice because he was trying to fight him or hit him or something. And Guy's in our party, and he sees Dave chasing him down, and all Guy says is, "You want ice cream? Here, have ice cream. Have ice cream. Have ice cream. You have ice cream."
You want some ice cream? You want some ice cream? You want some ice cream?
Just down the ice. We were dying.
I was I couldn't see my screen for like the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, we actually ended up scoring a goal after that too. It was great.
Like for me, my point of view, the reason why it was so funny was because like that scene in between the plays was just lasting so much longer than average too. Because they're usually like 3-4 seconds after the
something
play.
Like that, yeah.
This felt like it was going on like 8 or 9 seconds, and I started chasing the guy like down at our it was like down at our face-off circle, and it finally cut screen when we got into their zone, almost at the goal line. Like I chased him all the way down the ice, and the whole time Guy's in our ear going, "Want some ice cream? Would you like some ice cream?"
Yeah. Anyway, everyone, if
So,
you have any comments or questions, feel
Yeah.
free to send us a message, comment on the video, whatever you'd like to do.
yeah,
Um,
I'm sure there's probably one person that's going to view this and be like, "What are they talking about right now?" And like
yeah,
we're talking about video game.
I'll be
that we
surprised
play
if
every
someone
now and
even
then.
gets to this point in the episode. If you
If
do,
you-
seriously leave a comment. I'll be impressed.
Yes.
Um,
And
anyway, everyone have a good night. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next week.
Go V.